The next match is an open challenge for the FTW title between Ricky Starks and the generic, bland-looking white boy from earlier, who apparently is named Cole Karter. Karter with a K. And the announcers, as this thing started, were trying to talk, and I know Taz was there, so he should be, but the announcers were legitimately, including JR, trying to talk the FTW title up as a real belt, something that people win and lose and want to have, which is the polar opposite of not only what it actually is, but what it should be for the Heat. They made their own belt. That's a classic heel move. And I'm not an ECW expert, but I seem to remember that they did that with Taz because somebody else held the ECW title and there had been some dispute over a match that they'd had, and Taz declared himself the fuck the world champion. Have I summarized that briefly but succinctly?
Yeah, it was a belt created for Taz and ECW.
Yes. So Tony Khan, being a mark for 90s wrestling, so let's bring the FTW title back. And Taz obviously had the belt because it was his belt. So that's not a problem. Use it for business. But the way you use it is it's not real. The heel is out there crowing that he's the FTW champion because whatever issue he had with the company, they won't give him a title match, or his title match ended in confusion because the referee made the wrong mistake or whatever. So I'm a champion and I'm going to show y'all. And then he defends it, quote unquote, on his own, even though the company doesn't sanction it, blah, blah, blah. That's where the Heat comes in. Now they're trying to act like this is a real title, which is the last thing they need to do because they've got the AEW title. They got the TBS title. They got the TNT title. They got the Ring of Honor title. They have the FTW title. They got the All Asian Pacific fucking Dead Sea title. I haven't even gone into tags yet. So, anyway, Starks is great. Cole Karter is green and generic, physically looks better than most of the AEW undercard guys. I guess he didn't come from the indies because they all have the same look. And Ricky Starks won, which he should have. But then he gets on the microphone, Starks does, and says, I'm not going to let it end here. I'm going to keep the open challenge going. And even Taz says, I didn't know he was going to do this. Give me somebody else to wrestle. Within 5 seconds after Ricky Starks has the idea that he's going to continue and wrestle somebody else, the music plays. Talk about a music cue. It wasn't even 5 seconds. The audio guy had his finger hovering over the button. And it's music, and it's Danhausen. And Danhausen comes out doing the promo in his voice. And not only does he accept the challenge, but then Starks waffles and backs down. Well, but I didn't mean right now. Maybe next week. Suddenly you went from Ricky Starks having a match with a job guy to get over to Danhausen coming out and the real wrestler being scared of him, and it turns into a local indie comedy show on cable access with guys in funny outfits. They can't even do something right and then not fuck it up before they go to commercial. So I fast forwarded it until I saw somebody I liked. By the way, I'm not meaning to steamroller you. I'm just trying to get through this. No. Did you see anything I've neglected?
I wasn't very happy that was who confronted Ricky Starks, who I'm incredibly high on. Him and Hobbs are great. But, this is the problem since Punk and MJF have been gone, and Bryan Danielson. We've seen more of the things that some of the hardcore AEW fans like, but some of us are not real big fans of, like Orange Cassidy and Danhausen and just goofy stuff. The TV has changed since a lot of these guys have been gone. Not for the better.
Not for the better.